Less than 2 months to go until the election, and Obama's pets in the mainstream media are showing signs of being rabid. Guess who's going to give them some shots? You know Sammy. My name's Steven Kruiser. This is Kruiser Control, and we are starting. I enunciated in the opening. Did you notice that? I don't usually enunciate. I usually sound like I'm drunk even when I'm not. It's part of my thing. It's messy, it smells bad, and it's the strongest sign we have yet that the Mayans may be right. It's tingle time.
Yeah.
My knees are moving too. After that tragic tingle dance I did last week where I almost fell on my rear end, I thought I should take it down a notch this week. After a couple of days of rekindling his love affair with Bubba and catching up on some Martian porn, Chris Matthews had this little post-convention gem to offer us about the Lightbringer.
Well, here he is, the president, arguing that government isn't always the cure. In fact, it was quite honest about being something of a moderate, not a lefty here. Certainly not a socialist. Listen to this.
The best he could do at the end of that was say, certainly not a socialist. Did you hear how much was wrong in that 10-second clip, Sammy? Or were you too busy doing your job there? He said, Obama was arguing the government isn't the cure for everything. Certainly not a lefty. More of a moderate. I don't know which Obama you were watching. Michelle's cousin Seth? Is there a Seth Obama? No, wait, her name's not Obama, is it? I forget sometimes. Forget the whole thing where I just said I wasn't drunk, because I think I am now, okay? I'm high on the love. Something like that. We wish we could sanitize this for your protection. Unfortunately, this is a strain of stupidity that's been resistant to all attempts at artificially introducing intelligence to it. Hey, boys and girls, it's time to rev it up. Should we have an epilepsy warning with that one?
Yeah.
Because some people have mentioned they're freaked out by that, and then the next thing you know, with the neighbor, and we don't want to cause any neighbor deaths. The not so good Reverend is in his happy place. Why? Post-DNC groping seems to be the trigger.
Thanks, Chris, and thanks to you for tuning in. Tonight's lead: one side is in shambles, the other getting a boost, literally. There are just 57 days to go to this election, and the Obama campaign is enjoying every minute of it. This weekend, President Obama was swept up by a pizza shop owner who happens to be a big fan. Did I mention the guy's a Republican? And the AP snapped this photo of Vice President Biden chatting it up with a female biker. No wonder they're in such a good mood.
Thanks, Chris. Literally. I'm getting very comfortable around the... I'm fairly certain the first thing was staged. It had to be staged, Sammy. There's no way you can bear hug the President of the United States with a wide shot on a camera, no Secret Service guys around. You know what would happen if you or I tried to bear hug the guy? Well, first of all, we would have been fired from here. Secondly, and we would have been in jail. The second thing was the Vice President of the United States getting a lap dance from a biker chick. Nobody ever needs to see that. People were saying, oh yeah, you know, he looks like he'd be fun to party with. Sure, he'd be fun to party with. So is my Uncle Eddie. I don't want him a heartbeat away from the presidency. I'm begging you, President Obama, stop smoking. Even if you're only going to be there another couple months, we can't risk Yahoo McLapdance over there becoming president. That picture on his face. Biker chick. After it was announced last week that candy corn Oreos were hitting the shelves, I don't ever want to hear any of you say this intro is disturbing again. It's time for the extended take. Big mouth, little brain. Sounds like Ed Schultz to me.
Good evening, Americans, and welcome to the Ed Show from New York. 60 days until the 2012 election. The Democratic National Convention has already given President Obama a bounce. Republicans are giddy over bad job numbers.
Paraphrasing Mark Twain's paraphrase of somebody else, there are lies, there are damned lies, and Ed Schultz has a disproportionately large head that reeks of sardines. No, you mindless gas bag. Republicans aren't giddy over poor jobs numbers. We're disgusted, as any American who's made it at least halfway through kindergarten should be. While you're busy bleating every night about Romney's tax returns or phony birtherism, much of America is busy not being busy. And as evidenced by the DNC speakers last week, your party's plan is to fix that by making sure Sandra Fluck gets free birth control. Keep giving the finger to millions of unemployed Americans, Big Ed. I want to see them bite it off in November.
Oh, yeah.
Tweets of the week. Twitter.com/Stephen Kruiser. You follow me, I'll follow you back. Everybody's getting better about telling me I'm not following them. Upload an avatar, no eggs. Tweet number 1.
I know who I am. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Totally dated that chick. Tweet number 1. Any idea where I can get paid to suck at a job that pays $76 grand per year plus bennies and get summers off? We're speaking, of course, Sammy, of the Chicago Teachers Union strike right now, where they get an above average the base salary there, I think, is $52,000, $54,000 a year. And they're trying to say they're doing it for the children. If you think I'm unpleasant online or sometimes here, get me alone in a bar, buy me a couple drinks, ask me what I think of teachers unions. Then you'll find out what unpleasant is, okay? For the children, my Heinz. Tweet number 2.
I believe in a long, prolonged derangement of the senses to attain the unknown.
I'm doing that from the lower half down right now. I don't know what that was from, but I'm doing that from the lower half down. Prolongment, something of the senses to the thing like that, and then jelly. Tweet number 2 says, I'm pretty sure Heinz 57 is just ketchup and mustard in the same bottle. How can I prove it? Although not mentioned in that tweet, Sammy, I'm pretty sure this was a dig at John Kerry. And if it wasn't, I'm turning it into one right now. Because if you notice, the big theme of the Democrats' attacks on Mitt Romney is that he's a rich white guy from Massachusetts, so he's out of touch. And who did they have tell us that last week? Caroline Kennedy and John Kerry. That makes sense, doesn't it, too? Rich white people from Massachusetts. At least Mitt earned his. John Kerry married his twice. He's the ugliest trophy wife I've ever seen, too, by the way. Ugly, ugly trophy. Big old Easter Island head. Bigger head than mine. That's disturbing. Tweet number 3.
I don't believe in Kennedy.
That was quicker than I thought it was going to be. I was about to just... Tweet number 3 says, do you think Rahm Emanuel really likes Nickelback? I don't know if you saw... Did you see that sign, Sammy? This is how nasty it got outside the Chicago Teachers Union. Because, you know, Rahm Emanuel is kind of at odds with the Chicago Teachers Union right now. And that's a brewing problem for the Democrats, by the way. And one of the teachers held up a sign that says, Rahm Emanuel likes Nickelback, which was, of course, a horrid, horrid slur. But not only do I think Rahm Emanuel likes Nickelback, that's from my good friend Fingers Malloy, by the way. He not only likes Nickelback, he wants to see Nickelback tour with Creed opening. That's how much he stinks. Stinks. I don't know why I said it like that. He stinks. Website, StephenKruiser.com. Bonus clips are up there. You can find out where I'm going to be next, even though I'm going to be right here for a couple more weeks. And, of course, PJ Tatler every week. Go check out. I've been posting stuff on the Tatler every week. And, as always, and we're going to do 2 this week because we were off for a week during the RNC. Remember, we didn't give one away that week. As always, when you comment, if you're polite about it, and if I assume you're probably not wearing pants when you're commenting, you get a wipey. You know what I did with this the other day?
What?
Cured hunger in a small South American country. Don't ask how. It's like, do you ever watch Doctor Who? Like the psychic paper that can be anything you want? That's what the wipey is for me now. First comment says, once again, a stellar show. I cannot believe that Tingles is still working on any network as he gives stupidity a bad rap. He practically had the Big O right on camera in public at the DNC, but he is just too funny, so they have to keep him on. I need a laugh or two by the end of the week, so I am glad he is on the TV and you picked the best clips of all. I've given up sucking up for a wipe. Keep the shows coming. Aww. Second one says, Bill Clinton getting Martian trim equals Coke spewed all over the laptop. After I recover from my electrical shock, can I get a wipey? Of course you can get a wipey. Thanks to both of you for paying attention. You don't have to suck, well, you do have to suck up for one, but I don't remember if you were sucking up that much. Keep them going. And you can comment on other stuff on the show now. It's pretty much all wipey all the time, though. And I'm okay with that. the cult of the wipey. That's how you'll identify us. Let's head to the Kruiser Control playground now, where we've just installed extra padding and stronger locks on the area known as the Circle of Dumb. This hip action is something, isn't it, Sammy? Oh, yeah. I think it's been a while since we welcomed a first-timer to the Circle, but as soon as I saw this clip, I knew there would be no other real challengers this week. Dear friends of the show, your winner is... Roger, please don't confuse him with our CEO because I'd like to keep my job, Simon. The chief political hack over at Obama for America's online publicity outlet Politico had this to say about one William Jefferson Clinton.
Bill Clinton, whatever you want to say about how he conducted himself, had a very important and elevated view of the office of the presidency.
Joe Stalin, whatever you want to say about how he conducted himself, had a very elevated view of the Ukrainians before he starved 17 million of them to death. Has there been a president who respected the office of the presidency less than Bill Clinton? I don't think so. No, when you're using the office basically as your online dating service, pre-online, and you're getting girls in there who are practically your daughter's age and having affairs with them, that is not respect for the office of the presidency. That's just being a horn dog and elevating it to a whole new level. And then they moved out of the White House and took the furniture. It was like some redneck Riviera reality show with the Clintons in there. Just, hey, honey, you know, we had the affair, now we're leaving, you're going to get to be a senator. That couch looks nice. Elevated. If you don't have the time to get away to a day spa or the corner watering hole, please take advantage of the soothing power of the last piece of my mind. Serious one again. This week we saw ourselves come under attack from radical Islam again, and we saw what having a president with no foreign policy experience, even after 3.5 years in office, looks like. It was tragic. You remember last week at the DNC, President Obama was taking Mitt Romney to task for not having much foreign policy experience. Well, it can't possibly be worse than what went down this week, with the apology, then the non-apology, then the redacting of the apology. First of all, when an embassy responds to something, the White House knows about it. They're lying to you about that, okay? Secondly, picture in your minds for a moment, if this administration had been in charge on September 11th, 11 years ago. That's all you need to know. That's why this election is important. Make sure they don't get reelected, okay? Take care of yourselves. I love you guys. I'll see you next week.
Yeah.